Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, we're diving straight into what is arguably the single most important tech skill of this entire decade, prompt engineering. My goal for us today is pretty simple. I want to take you from someone who just types basic, everyday questions into a chat box and transform you into a strategic communicator, someone who can actually command AI to do exactly what you need it to do every single time. But hey, before we get into the heavy tactics, I want you to think about something. Have you ever wondered why AI models can sometimes sound like absolute geniuses, and then other times they just make things up completely? Seriously, we have all been there. You get this frustrating, useless, generic answer and think, what went wrong? Well, here's the secret you've got to keep in mind throughout this whole explainer. AI isn't magic. It's literally just a mirror of the input you give it. If you feed it a vague request, you are absolutely going to get a vague answer. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, what is prompt engineering? Second, the anatomy of a perfect prompt. Third, how AI actually thinks. Fourth, frameworks and advanced tactics. And finally, number 5, AI careers and the future. All right, kicking things off with section 1. What is prompt engineering? It's time to move beyond those vague requests. So, what are we actually talking about here? By definition, prompt engineering is the skill of writing effective instructions for AI models to get accurate, useful, and high-quality responses. Basically, a prompt is just the input you give the model. But crafting a really good one? Well, that's an art form. A well-crafted prompt doesn't just, trigger a response. It can literally save you hours of manual work by generating structured, ready-to-use outputs while drastically reducing those annoying moments where the AI just hallucinates and makes stuff up. Moving right along to section 2. Anatomy of a perfect prompt. Let's build that ultimate AI instruction. You see, a truly strong prompt is never just a single sentence. It's more like a structured recipe. You need a role, a task, context, constraints, and output format, and examples. Now, I want you to really notice that first ingredient, the role. This is a game changer. It's like putting a specific hat on the AI. Just by telling it, you are an expert data analyst, you instantly shift the model's entire perspective, the depth of its knowledge, and its tone. It's incredible. Let's look at a direct A/B test to see this in action. On the left side here, we have a very weak prompt. Write about Python. I mean, it's incredibly vague, right? But check out the strong prompt on the right. You are a Python mentor. Write a beginner-friendly article about Python. Length 500 words, use headings. You see that dramatic contrast? By adding specific constraints, giving it that mentor role, and dictating the exact format, you completely transform the result. It goes from this messy, Wikipedia-style data dump to a super polished, highly targeted article. All right, section 3, how AI actually thinks. Let's take a peek under the hood of the machine. To really master AI, you've got to understand something called tokens. Tokens are basically the AI's fundamental currency for reading text. They can be whole words, chunks of words, or even just punctuation marks. And this ties directly into the context window, which you can think of as the AI's short-term memory or RAM. Whether a model has an 8,000 or 128,000 token limit, that number dictates exactly how much information the AI can juggle in its head at one time. And keep in mind, larger prompts mean more tokens. That eats up memory, and if you're using paid APIs, it means higher costs too. Now, take a look at the temperature settings on this table. You can think of temperature as the AI's literal creativity dial. A setting of 0.1 makes the output highly deterministic. This is exactly what you want for coding or strict math where facts matter. But crank that dial up to 1.0, and you unlock this highly imaginative, varied style that's perfect for brainstorming. And if you dial it right to the middle at 0.5, you get this really nice balanced mix of logic and creativity. So, understanding how the AI thinks is exactly what helps us solve its biggest, most frustrating flaw, hallucinations. When the AI confidently makes things up out of thin air, it drives us all crazy. But here is your exact toolkit to fix it. First, write explicitly clear prompts and give it solid context. Second, use RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. This is basically giving the AI an open book test. You force it to look at real, provided data instead of just guessing from its training memory. And finally, set strict fact constraints and always ask the model to explain its reasons step by step. Forcing the AI to show its work like a math student drastically reduces its errors. Which brings us to section 4, frameworks and advanced tactics. We are officially unlocking the boss level of prompting here. Look, a huge mistake I see beginners make all the time is asking for an entire, highly complex output in one single go. Like, write me a full business plan in one sentence. That doesn't work. What you actually need is multi-step prompting. Check out this logical sequence. Step 1, generate startup ideas. Step 2, create a market analysis specifically for idea number 2. Step 3, create financial projections based on that specific analysis. This is called chain of thought prompting, and it drastically improves the model's complex reasoning because you are holding its hand and guiding it step by step. Now, if you want a foolproof, structured way to ensure you never write a bad prompt again, you've got to use the Ryzen framework. Seriously, I invite you to screenshot this right now. R stands for role, I for instructions, S for steps, E for end goal, and N for narrowing. By explicitly defining every single one of these, like setting the role as an expert SQL trainer, instructing it to teach joins, laying out the steps to provide examples, stating the end goal is to crack an interview, and narrowing it down to simple language, you systematically guarantee a perfect, highly targeted prompt every single time. Okay, for those of you ready to push the absolute limits of what AI can do, let's talk about some highly advanced technical frameworks. React prompting combines reasoning and acting. This is the exact technique powering truly autonomous AI agents that can browse the web and execute real tasks for you. Then there's Tree of Thoughts, which actually forces the AI to explore multiple different reasoning paths at the same time before giving you the best answer. It's unbelievable for complex problem solving. And finally, prompt chaining, where the output of your first prompt automatically feeds right into the input of the next one, creating these incredibly powerful, fully automated workflows. And finally, Section 5, the future of AI careers. Why this skill quite literally changes everything. The career opportunities happening right now are just exploding. We're seeing entirely new job titles popping up, like prompt engineer and AI automation specialist. And some of these roles at heavyweights like OpenAI and Anthropic, they're offering salaries well over $250,000 a year. But honestly, here's the most important takeaway for you today. Even if you have zero interest in becoming a full-time AI engineer, prompt engineering is rapidly becoming a mandatory core skill. Whether you're a developer, a data analyst, a marketer, or a startup founder, this is the new baseline for professional efficiency. I want to wrap things up today with a really powerful thought from our sources. Prompt engineering is not about magic prompts. It's about clear thinking, structured communication, and iteration. And that hits the nail on the head. The absolute best way to improve at this is to just practice it daily. Test out different styles, analyze what the AI gives you back, and just continuously refine your approach. So I'll leave you with this question. Knowing that the AI isn't the genius, but merely the mirror of your own instructions, what will you build with your very next prompt? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy prompting.